Hello students, welcome to Pathak's Computer Academy online classes. In the previous video, we covered cascading style sheet in detail and complete our unit 2. Today we will discuss cyber ethics in unit 3. Before going to the topic of cyber ethics, I will suggest you to go and see my ninth class standard video related to cyber safety and cyber security. Okay, as this will help you to learn about a new topic known as cyber ethics. Clear? In the ninth class standard, I have covered these things. Okay, what is cyber safety? What are digital citizenship? And in digital citizenship, what are these things? Digital literacy and related to all these things, digital communication, digital commerce, digital etiquette. Etiquette, you have to be very careful because in class 10th, there is also a topic known as netiquette. So before going to learn what is netiquette, you have to know about etiquette. Clear? Digital health and wellness, digital rights, freedom and responsibilities, digital security, and at last, digital law. Okay. Other than this, there's one more video related to digital, sorry, cyber safety. And in cyber safety, there is a topic known as cyber security, where I have covered these things. What are the basic introduction to the cyber security? What are the common cyber attacks? Impact of cyber attacks, the objective of cyber security, and the services provided by the cyber security, and why we need to be secured whenever we learn about network. Okay. So I hope you will go to the previous topic that I already taught before going to learn these things. What are these things? These things are cyber ethics. What is netiquette? Rules of netiquettes, and then software licenses. Clear? Today I will cover these three things, these all things. So, what are ethics? As the name suggests, there are some rules and regulations that are governed by World Wide Web Organization. Okay? And that rules and regulations should be followed by each member of internet. Clear? Okay. So why there is a need for ethics? In your home, your parents told you how you behave when your friend, when your relatives come to meet you, or when you go to the school, how to behave with your colleagues, how to behave with your teachers. Okay. And if you are going to travel some places, how to deal with various people around you. The same thing happening here. Whenever you use your computer, your mobile, and connect with the internet for any purposes, like to read some articles, to surfing any social networking sites, or preparing your notes, anything, then there should be a well behaved manner that you have to be followed. Otherwise, there are various laws nowadays working on these cyber issues, and sometimes it will affect your family as well as the individual. Okay. So, in order to keep healthy environment in computer room, okay, to make good relation with co-workers and to improve the work efficiency, some ethics are necessary, and this will followed for computer as well. Okay. So cyber means whatever the communication are done within networks, and that network can be a local network like in your school premises, or in internet. Okay. So the communication in these network means cyber, and ethics means I already told you some moral principles that should be followed. There is, I am not imposing must word. Okay. It should follow. Okay. So you learn about what is cyber, you know about what is ethics. Now, what is known as cyber ethics? Cyber ethics is the study of ethics pertaining to computers. Okay. In other way, what can you say? Cyber ethics is the conduct of acceptable uses of online resources by a user. Okay. You have to purchase a licensed version of a software or Windows. This is an ethical way. Okay. Or you have to download movies, songs from the authenticated source by paying something or whatever the rules they want to follow. Clear? So the main issues that surround cyber ethics are copyright, downloading, hacking, and cyberbullying. Clear? And these issues are increasing on daily basis, and mostly due to children using the internet improperly. Why? Because they have no knowledge about what are the basic behavior you have to follow when you are surfing the net. Clear? So first issue is copyright problem or downloading problem. I already discussed. You have to pay, and after that download the licensed version of any software or any song or any program or any video. Second one is hacking. As the name suggests, this problem is very much of concern, where international damage of another computer by a particular person who hacks the network or something essential from your computer. And next one, which I want to be very concerned whenever there are children, that is cyberbullying. You must not to tease anyone for your personal laugh. Okay? Clear? This is the simple example of cyberbullying. Now, I covered what is cyber ethics. You have to be very much followed some rules and regulations, some behavior through which you cannot deny it from the copyright, downloading, cyberbullying, and hacking. Okay. Now, what is netiquette? I discussed in class 9th lecture what is etiquette. Okay. Etiquette means the behavior. And whenever there is a behavior which should be followed on an internet, or you can say that networks, then the combination of these two things are known as netiquette. That's why here I have included the point. It is made by combining the word network and etiquette. Thus, it is also known as internet etiquette. It means the use of good manners in online communication. While using emails, you should follow the proper language. Forums where you discuss something on a particular topic with various pupils on the networks, they have their own opinion, but you have not to be over conscious about your thinking. Okay. Blogs and social networking site. You have to share those things that are very much okay or true information. You does not involve in fake news. Clear? Thus, in other words, netiquette means we should be ethical, we should be respectful with others on the network, and responsible. What we are sharing, what we are downloading, what we are searching while surfing on the internet. Clear? Now, I'm going to discuss furthermore. Ethical means we should share our information and expertise online without any copyright violation. Okay. Next one is responsibility. Responsible means we should not indulge in any insulting, degrading, or intimidating online behavior which concern about cyberbullying. Okay. Not focusing on insulting someone. Why? Because they hurt you somewhere else. So I will do the same thing. Okay. Next one is we should not encourage trolling. Okay. By giving attention to them. And the last point is respectful. It means we should respect others' people's privacy and the freedom of personal expression. They have their own opinion to say on a particular topic, and you have their own idea. Okay, so you have to respectful for the others' opinion by giving your opinion too. These are basic rules for etiquette. I have included some of the etiquette. Don't backbite. Okay, you have not to comment on the back. Don't plagiarize. Do not copy the work of another person, and by saying that this is my own or original work, that cannot be acceptable. Thank people who help you. Verify facts before reposting. This is very much essential for the kids. Okay, before posting anything, you must take care of the facts and figures, whether they are correct or not. Okay, don't overuse the emotions. Respect other people's privacy. Don't type only in capital letters. Don't send unwanted spam messages. Okay, these are things that should follow when there is an etiquette to be followed on the network. Now, the next topic is software licenses. As the name suggests, license is the permission. I'm going to give you a permission for something. Like government gives the license to a particular person for selling petrol. Okay. No normal citizen cannot go directly to sell these things like liquor, petrol. Okay. The same thing happens here on the computer network. License is permission granted by the holder of a copyright to another to use an original work. It is a document that provides details regarding what? The use and distribution of software. Okay, what are the prices of that software? How could you use that software? And what amount of time you can use that software? Clear? These software licenses are classified into basically three parts. First one is proprietary or closed source software. Next one is open source software. And the third one is free software. Clear? So I'm going to discuss each of them one by one. First one is closed source software. Okay. For this, you need to purchase the license. And after that, the features are unlocked. And this software remains the property of the owner or the organization that purchased the proprietary rights. And these proprietary rights are also known as commercial software. It is paid software for which the software publisher retains intellectual property right. You cannot modify that software, okay, without taking consent. The other thing is also there in proprietary software, the source code is not available to the user who purchased that software. Clear? And the examples are Windows. You have to purchase the Windows operating system, Mac operating system. Okay. There is a list of instructions through which you can install your Windows on your computer, but how they are working, what are the source code? They are the intellectual property of particular organization or owner. Clear? Next one is open source software. As the name suggests, nowadays there are a various community who want that every software should be an open source. And this open source means the source code is freely available to the others for viewing or any amendment that is to be needed and adapt. Okay. It is a free software, clear, in which the software publisher releases the source code under a license. Okay. It grants permission to end user to redistribute them and make modification in the software. Like Android, Ubuntu, Firefox, OpenOffice, etc. These are open source software. If you want to see the coding, the structure of the particular software, you can access these codes. Clear? And give your some feedback for upgrading that software. Or also you can change if you are know what is to be done. And next one is free software. It is a software that is available for free. Clear? But still considered closed source software because their source code is not available to the end user. They are the software which can be downloaded easily without giving any cost to purchase this license. Okay, but it is a closed one. For what purposes? Closed one for the source code. Source code cannot be given or cannot be cracked by the end user. Clear? They are categorized into two. First one is shareware and next one is freeware. In freeware, all features are available free for whole life, like Yahoo Messenger, Adobe PDF. But some software are free, but only a period of time. After that, you have to purchase that software. Clear? Like WinZip, MySQL, they are giving some time to habituate what the software does, and after some time, you have to purchase that one, the licensed version. Clear? Now, next point is open source software movement. As I already told you that various community nowadays supporting open source software. And this movement wants that all software should be open source. They should be a part of broader notion of open collaboration. It is a movement in which the source code of the software is released to the programmer in order to make modification and its distribution. Clear? And this one example is very much popular, that is known as MediaWiki, and that software is based on Wikipedia. Clear? So how it is possible? Because Wikipedia given their source code as an open source, and based on that source you can build your own software. There is no such issue if they grant permission. If any software gives you the permission to make modification. So that's all for today. Today we learned about cyber ethics and netiquettes. After that, I covered software licenses and their categories. In the next class, we will cover the remaining part of cyber ethics. Thank you so much.